this meeting will come to order. Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Venable.
Here.
Alderwoman Madison. Vice Mayor Key.
Here.
Alderman Adams.
Here. Thank you, Madam Recorder. Fellow citizens, will you please stand with me? And if I could, I'd ask the Vice Mayor to lead us in prayer.
In the name of Jesus, dear Heavenly Father, we come to you, Lord, not only what we know how, asking you to please forgive us for all of our sins. Lord, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. Father God, I ask, Lord, that you will continue to watch over each and every one of us. Continue to watch over our family. Lord, I ask that you bless this meeting. Lord, help us to make every decision that is pleasing unto you. And God, I'll be so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. And everybody said amen.
Amen. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand. I'd like to welcome any members of the public. Welcome, Ms. Payne. Welcome, Silas. So we will start again, and members of the board, everyone has their printed budget that was sent out to you in your packet, and I'm certain you've taken a little time to look at it. And honestly, if I were on the end of that, I'd probably say, okay, that's good, Jeff, but what does that mean? And I'm going to answer a lot of that for you. I'm not going to take hours to do it. I'm just going to try to get down and tell you the high spots. Sharon and I went back since our last meeting, and we tried to identify places we could cut costs. You know, I spoke with you very honestly last time, and I told you that we were looking at increases. So during this last few days, Sharon and I have went in and tried to identify any line that we could reduce the cost of. And the copy that you have is a result of that. Again, just generally talking about the 23-24 budget, very challenging year we're coming out of due to many reasons. A couple of things I'll bring to your attention from the last year. The water sales revenue was not what we predicted. It was much less than we predicted overall. Sharon did a wonderful job of predicting that number, but unfortunately, the sales just didn't meet expectations for last year. As I talked to you about this last meeting, we are working on mitigating that into this next year. And I'm going to tell you some of the reasons that the sales did not meet expectations. Metering. We continue to try to replace the Badger meter system that we have in the field. And what happened over a few years ago when the last major water project went down is that we installed a bunch of water meters at one time. Instead of systematically saying, let's do 100 in this grid, let's do 100 here, let's do 100 there. And unfortunately, a lot of those meters now have met their life and they're starting to fail. So we are, in fact, the same amount of water is going through the system. The plant is producing well. And when we have to use water from Bristol Bluff, and we've had to do that on occasion, you know, we've actually had a pretty expensive year on that because we did a major water project and we renovated our water tank all in the same year. We're making the right amount, but the amount that we've measured for the customer is less. hence we didn't sell it. You follow me? So one of the things that we're mindful of as we go into this budget year and then the next couple of budget years is that we have to get out and we have to allocate the funding to be able to get out here and replace some of these aged meters so that we're properly recording the amount of water that we sell to the customer. And that failed in this year. So the true revenue of dollars that we received in water bills, if you want to call it that, was far less than the previous year. A couple other things, the economy. Things cost more. Fuel costs more. Water and sewer supplies. Some of the things that we're buying now for the water treatment plant, unfortunately Alan's finishing up the job and he can't be here, are double what they were. And the lead times have went, if we order supplies, from 2 to 6 weeks. So it's just the way the world is. Let me think. On the general fund side, I've already spoke to you about the tax assessment and the difference of undertax opposed to where we are today. We are, for a very long time, we had, not our administration, but in the past, before us, they did not take a serious look at their tax rate for the citizens, for the homes in Bluff City. And at one point, many years ago, the tax was reduced from 127.6 to 1178, which it is now, because they had a really good assessment year where the homes were real low because of the economy. And unfortunately, that was a mistake because now the median home price, which I've told you all this number like 100 times, is $255,800 average in town. When the assessment went down, it was $155,500. So and every other municipality and the counties, all 92 counties, are at a place where that the equity in homes has grown due to the price. So hence, all of us are undertaxing. Let's see. Let me think a little bit more. Sales tax looked good. The sales tax looked good for this last year. We do not want to budget on sales tax. Y'all know that. Because sales tax is a variable number. And you could have this amount of businesses now and 10 less tomorrow. So we can't just say that number on the sales tax revenue, we're going with that, because how do we know that we're not going to lose big tax producers in the next year? We have no idea. So we can't budget on that. In revenue, just looking down through here, that stuff I want to bring to your attention. You can see that we're up a little bit in driving school, but it's just a couple of $1,000. The court fines, the audited from 2022 was $280. The number for 310, the court fines and citations number per month is growing due to Watson and due to vigilant police work. We're not out headhunting nobody. We're not, sitting around like Roscoe P. Coltrane, and if you're 6 miles over, we'll give you a citation. We give people lots of latitude. Every officer on the force does, and Shane can affirm that. But we got a lot more traffic. There's an average of 50,000 vehicles travel on 11E every single day through our corridor. So a lot more people, more citations. So we are growing in the amount of court fines and citations. But it's not that steep. It's not like that. It's a gradual climb. And it's inconsistent. This last month, we were up 100 citations from the previous month. But we may be flat in June. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows? Getting down to the numbers, down here at the bottom, y'all see, you're going to see, this is very important. You're going to see this number right here. I'm going to start just putting my cursor on stuff. That was the audited for 2022 as we come out of that last year. See, we're talking about a year behind now, right? And then you can see what we estimated for this last year, which was really, really near that number. And yeah, go ahead, jump in.
That's the fund balance.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
It's just
Yeah,
total revenue up there.
yeah. The accountant's got to get me straightened out. Up here is where we need to go. So, okay. Anyway, total revenue 2022 in the year was 18,567.43. This is what we thought we were going to do, and this is what we're appropriating for next year. But with this, our current tax rate, we would see a shortfall of what was I've got it written down. Hold on just a minute. We would see a shortfall of about $10,000, wouldn't we? At our current tax rate.
Yes.
Yeah, $9,620 would be we'd be in the red at our current tax rate.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Okay.
Okay, right now, we are in no danger of being in the red.
But yes.
Last year,
Yeah.
we raised water rates, and we know what happened in October. I'll never forget that. Based on what we thought, and it wasn't true, and we were nowhere near being in the red. So,
The water's sewer.
okay.
Yeah, we have.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But you know, and explain this to me if
Sure.
you can, ma'am.
Sure. Yeah.
We have no problems when we need to move, because we didn't think we could do that.
Yeah.
Move money from the general fund. We had no problem, and then I think the man that was here kind of explained it to us.
Yeah.
So let's keep it real, because, I'm not for increases, but I know that there's going to come a time when we have to do it. I know that.
That time
But,
is now.
but if we're not in the red and it is not state mandated, I made a promise to the people, and I will honor, my word is my bond, and I will honor my promise, because the people are the one that put me on this board. And I'm here to serve the people. And if I think that we're going to go on the red, then I will investigate myself too, to make sure. Because I love my city, I want what's best for the city, and I want what's best for the people. And with things that's going on, we've got, new businesses? Isn't that bringing in money?
That's the
Isn't that
sales
helping?
tax.
Okay, isn't that bringing in money? We've got things, we're making money, so I thought we're not living paycheck to paycheck. And, I'm all for the employees, and set the record straight, too. I do care about the employees, I care about the people here.
Nobody
That's why I'm on
else,
this,
yeah.
and I'm not talking to
Yeah,
you.
nobody
That's why
else.
I'm on this board, is because I want to do what is right and help people. But I say I like to say this. We offer one of the best benefit packages there is.
Yes.
You know how much I pay for my hospital insurance and my medical insurance? You know how much I pay for that? My family pay for that. We offer good benefits, and I want the employees to have good benefits. And I also want the citizens to be able to live too. You know, we got to come together and work together. There's got to be some way. I'm all for giving raises. But we can't give raises and then turn around and raise the citizens. It's not right. It's not right.
See, we got real confused was when they did come in and they said that they found enough money to hire a city manager for so many years.
17.
Where's that money, and why can't we? What can we use it on?
I can answer that for
See,
you.
we
would run
that's
in
what's
the
in our
red
head.
for 17 years, period.
Then he should.
Unless the
we need to bring
revenue
him back.
of
He needs
this
to clarify
supported it,
himself.
we would run in the red.
Why
And
would
it's
that
not
man say that?
appropriated money. What we're doing here is we're predicting.
Yeah.
We are predicting what 23, 24 is going to look like, right? And I told you that we had went through here with a fine-tooth comb, and we've shaved off 1,000 here, 2 here, 5 here. We did everything we could do to get there to that number. But look what I'm trying to tell you. At this number, right, this was what we estimated for this last year. Right? We audited that the year prior. This is what we're estimating, which is, y'all look, it's just a little bit different for this year. Right? But the expenses have grown. And what I'm trying to tell you, this particular part of the budget of the general fund, to keep us in the black, right, is at a tax rate of $1.30. That is the model. That's the only way. $9,600. That's how close we are on 1.6 million, 1.654,520. That's that much of that money. We've shaved it to that much at $1.30, right? We're at $1.17.8 now. If we go to $1.17.8, we will turn in a red budget. We will.
What do you want the tax rate to be?
$1.30.
That's still, I've got it pulled up right here.
And I can tell you what that will mean to the citizens, if you want to know. I'm telling you. And then we'll talk about water and sewer in a minute. But right now we're just talking about the general fund.
Right.
We don't have anything frivolous here. Actually, if you look down into the police department, we cut the cruisers out. That's $50,000 to $60,000. We can wait a little on the cruisers.
What do you mean you cut them out? I thought we just approved
With
it.
this money we have at $1.30, it to keep us, we're only $9,600 off our number. That's it.
But the policemen keep us safe.
But
What I don't understand is just a few meetings ago, we were going to get 2 cruisers.
That was a request.
And then at the meeting I remember, we decided, yes, it was a request, and then I don't know if y'all confiscated it or something or what. We were going to use it if we did.
We can't use, when we confiscate, when Kevin and the group in the DTF confiscate money or we get drug money, it goes to a special fund. It's in here, right? It's not big money.
I'm not saying it
And
is.
please, allow me. That money, actually, the department requested SRT here of $9,200. We put that appropriation into the drug fund to keep it out of this, or it would have been way more than it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Nobody wants this. Nobody. But if we submit a budget today and we stay at 1178, I do not know if it will be approved by the comptroller. And if it is, it will be a red budget.
Okay, so you are definitely saying it
Absolutely.
will be red.
It
Okay,
will
we're
be
going to
red.
check. Okay, you said it will be red.
And that is with every shade we can make. The autonomy.
Taking out, buying two.
And we took out the cruisers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to raise it 12.1 cents per square foot to balance what we have without the cruisers. Didn't we have a number that we were talking about raising it to?
We
1.7 or something.
okay. We're at 1.178 now.
Right.
Right. The previous, before they dropped it, let me back up. A few years ago, it was at 1.276. Right. That would have been what it used to be. If we just said, "Hey, we're going back to what it used to be," it would be $1.27.6. It's still in a shortfall. We need that extra 2 pennies.
I don't have no problem whatsoever to make our homeowners tax, land tax, whatever you want to call it, $1.30.
Right.
In Sullivan County, we pay them, and they're almost double.
Well,
I have no
I
problem.
got the numbers.
I have no problem with that, but here, like I said, at the meeting, apparently I'm wrong, but I could have swore we said we're going to work on getting 2 cruisers. You know.
Work on is the operative term.
Well, that was
And
what
then,
we had
and then
budgeted in the last
also something before I forget, it has nothing to do with this. When we were here the other evening and we were watching this, you know, and I know it's public record.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know everything is, but it makes me feel uncomfortable seeing what the employees make.
Yeah.
It's not, I feel it's none of my business, but I did not see any. This don't mean nothing personal against you, Sharon. I didn't see any women. I just seen the police force.
They're all
and
on
the men.
there, Julie. Everybody.
I didn't see the women up there.
They're in there.
financial side.
They're in there.
Did you see it up there the other day?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're in there.
I saw
Every
it.
employee is on that. 22 people
Jan,
are on that
everybody
roster.
was in there.
And
You
did
just
it-
didn't have the names on there.
Yes, it did.
Did you?
It's got
I
it
didn't
over
have
in the
my
left-hand
glasses on.
corner.
Well, she didn't see it. I didn't
I didn't
see
have
it.
my
Sandy
glasses
didn't see
Yeah,
it.
everybody's on there. They're on
And
there.
we didn't think that was fair.
It's Julie. They're on.
I mean, like I said, I don't care who makes what. I don't want to. Frankly, I don't think it's my business. But I didn't see it on there. But I did see all the men, the public works and the policemen. I just glanced, and I just want to make sure that was fair. And if I'm wrong, I apologize.
Since that's a rough draft, I'm going to take you to the current sheet, just to be fair.
I appreciate it, but I don't see how all of us missed
That's
it.
the current sheet.
Last one, anyway.
Everybody's on there. That's not the new sheet. That's the one we're using right now. Every single employee, including the part-time folks, are on there. That's how I maintain their wage. We maintain their hourly rates.
Sharon,
There, Sheriff Wanda. See, they're all broken down into different funds.
Yeah.
This is finance and administration. Now, if you look down here, Sandy is in here, in this fund. It's just the way we appropriate wages. But this, if you see, every single person we have working at town.
That's how we all missed it. But we all missed it
Yeah.
because that was the first thing I asked. It ain't fair to give
We
them
wouldn't
that. You know
do
what I'm
that.
saying? I'm not, like I said, I really don't think we should need to know.
So anyway, that being said, let me walk through a couple more things real quick, and maybe this will bring some clarity.
let me mention this.
Please.
Like Sullivan County, Kingsport city rate is $1.99.83.
Yes.
If you live in Bristol, it's $1.98.63. If you live in Johnson City, part of Sullivan County, you pay 1.55, and we're at 1.79. So I mean, we are 37.1 cents lower.
Jonesboro is $1.45.
Right. So even if we go to 130, we're still a quarter lower than anybody else pays in Sullivan County on city tax.
Yeah.
Because we have so many fewer people.
Where, ma'am, if you would.
Is this a special?
No,
meeting?
you're not allowed to speak.
Well,
We're in
I
session.
want to ask this
Don't make me gavel you out, Miss Pam. This is a work session. There's no public comments according to law in this session.
There's an agenda.
No, and you're not on it. Listen, that's what you're here for. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So, again, as you can see, I mean, look at this right here. Electricity. Now, I'm just going to come in here and pick out a few lines for you. We're predicting about the same as we did before. BTS has not announced a rate increase. I mean, we're getting down to the H's.
Actually, they have made a decrease last
Yeah.
year.
Oh, and you were talking about the employee raise. Now, y'all know we have a prospective 3% maximum. Maximum. That means that the highest performing employees will get 3%. Those who perform less will get 2, 1, or 0. So it's a max of 3. But remember, our benefits did decrease. Remember that I told y'all?
But didn't, correct me if I'm wrong,
3%.
Something about we were overpaying. I made a note of that. I don't have it with me. Something about overpaying.
That is in our retirement stuff, and that's another decision. We remember when we first came on the board, Carol, we had paid so much in the TCRS, we were offered the option of just paying nothing. Right? And we've always elected now to take care of our employees and put 3% only in there like most standard companies do. So we'll have to make that decision.
Right.
But that money it's that big. I mean, it's not like anything that's going to burn the world down on this budget. You see what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, if we don't pay the retirement, we're good. No, it isn't.
No,
It's not that way.
I'm all for that.
And as our retirees, you know, the cost of living goes up.
Do we have any retiring this year? Do you know?
No, not scheduled. Not scheduled right now. So, again, we were very, very, very conservative. And we even today, I'll share a story with you. Sharon and I may have found another cost savings opportunity. I can't talk to you about it yet. We're working on it for you. It could save us $2,000 or $3,000 more a year if we can exploit it. You know what I'm saying? So I can give you 10 examples during this last year where we went in and we found we were paying for, I don't know, acetylene tanks that nobody ever used, and we sent them back. Or we changed the uniform program. Or, you know, I mean, there's all kinds of.
Right.
We were paying on a copier contract we didn't need, and we got rid of that.
Right.
You know, or
I know.
whatever.
We've got quite a few cost savings in there this
Got
year.
them.
You did, yeah.
But the economy is what it is. And another thing I'll bring to you in the general fund, our police department. So we don't know where the revenue is going to go in this economy. It's 9.25% economy. Maybe, this is a maybe, that's it. Maybe we'll do better than we think we're doing. And we'll be able to come back later in the year and say, hey, we're doing a little better than we thought we were. Let's go ahead and buy the cruiser. We can amend.
Right.
We can amend. You know what I'm saying? But at this point in time, like I told you, honest up and down, at 1.17A, we're in the red. And at 130, we are in the black only by $9,620 on $1,654,520. That's razor edge right there.
I just wrote something. And it's about the cars again.
Sure.
It seemed to me that, I don't remember who brought it up, but it came up at the meeting, that you did find a good deal in another state.
We're going to do the same thing.
And said that they would deliver them.
That's exactly
see,
what.
that's where I'm confused.
That's what we're going. That's what we hope to do.
Well, the hope part, I don't remember anybody saying.
That's proposal. What happens is practically matter of fact, in this folder right here, Judy, the police department submits a budget request to me, as did Alan for Public Works.
I mean, that's what I'm
And he
thinking.
says, I need a trash pump, and I need this amount of sewer fittings, and I need, and it, honey, it's detailed. It's right down to Alan tells me how many 2-inch 90s he needs for the year. You know what I'm saying? And it's been good. It's great. And we looked at that, and that's what Greg hoped that we could do almost immediately, because we do have another police officer. We have a vacancy right now in the police department.
And nothing hired yet?
Yeah, we've got a guy hired pretty much, and we're going to send him to the academy. And it's in the budget. You know what I'm saying? And that's in there. But we were hoping to get a car for him, and then have what we call a pool car, and that means we'd have an extra. Maybe we can do that in a few months, but for our requirement today, no, we can't do that. We just can't do it. Unless you want to, unless you want to increase the tax rate up to about $1.45, then we could do it then. Like, that's true. If we're telling you what we got to do to stay in the black, and we've offered that. $9,600 is all we're in the good in the black at $1.30 tax rate. That's where we're at. With that, let me move on down this way. Let me just move on to water and sewer. Okay. This, in water and sewer, I want you to look at something here. Now, let's talk to you about it. So, I told you that the water sales were down in this last year. So, as you can see, right here, total revenue. We audited $1,033,027, right, in the year prior. We estimated, the estimated was $1,135,800. We fell far short. So, in looking at what we did this year in water sales, if they were to stay the same, look at the difference. 102,500 versus audited 103,327, and this was a prediction. If this stays the same, we are super duper in the red. 110,000. We're in the red. It's actually $143,800 when you do all that. That we are in the red at the current water and sewer rates. And that is because water sales are down. We need to put an action plan together to capture more water that is being sold. We're seeing improvements in the water system now that we've, RD Phase 3 is done. We're losing less water. But the problem was in this last year was the water wouldn't have enough metered water. You see what I'm saying? It's just like a ticker. So the revenue was in fact down. As you can see in the appropriations, I'm going to show you a couple of things that are good. You see the appropriations for the water and sewer treatment plant and the distribution and collection. All this stuff right here, this is where we went in and shaved places like, let's pull 1,000 out of here. We'll try to keep this less. You know what I'm saying? This and that and the other. So that's where we're at in that. Also, I bring to your attention, we all know, and I shared with you, that, as a matter of fact, I put it in your packet in one of the workshops, that we will pay approximately 7% more to pump sewer and wastewater to the city of Bristol. That's a customary raise. So we're going to pay a little more to pump it out of here. That is reflected in the sewer service charges. We know there's going to be a little bit more. because their cost went up 7%. Will Witcher was here yesterday. I met with him. And this economy is choking people. As you can see, I think we have a good number appropriated for the sales. And salaries, y'all know, we've already talked about this, maximum 3% increase for every employee. That includes water and sewer. And I'll just go on down through there. There's obviously we've got some loans where y'all know all about that. Same old, same old. Here's an important thing. Depreciation. We talked about that the other night. That's about where we think it's going to be. It's going to be there, $250,000 or so in depreciation. Sharon explained that to you the other night. Now, here's the elephant right here. This sanitation, you see this? So, with this, we're estimating somewhere thereabouts that sanitation used to cost somewhere around here, $124. It's going to cost $143,055 because I told y'all they are surcharging us $14 per ton of everything they haul away above the contract. The contract this year, according to the agreement signed by the previous administration, the customer rate would go up to $15.50. This board has already agreed on that, right? It will not pay the bill. It won't. What in sanitation, the way that we can survive, and you can see it's skinny, is that we would need to raise the monthly rate to $17.50, $2.
We just raised it.
No, ma'am.
Did we raise it 50 cents or something like that?
Yeah,
last year.
an agreement was signed that the previous year we would go up to $14.50, and we did that. That's where we're at right now.
Right.
And then after July 1st, according to the agreement that was signed, this is what we're getting billed. Now, what we're getting billed. We're going to start getting billed $15.50, another dollar.
Okay.
Right? But with the and I told y'all about the surcharges. And this last month, the surcharges was $1,000. Invoice was $1,000. Sharon will tell you, we got $700 invoice, $700 invoice, and I told you a little story about the dumpster out the shop. It was an extra $300 freaking dollars. Well, that's going to continue, and we talked about it the other night. We're having, junk days over now, and we're going to get an invoice for the tonnage, and I don't know what it's going to be.
I don't understand how we're getting more trash or garbage, whatever you want to call it, when there's, a few more people moved in.
We're not,
but
we have 704 cans in the tank. We're not getting that much more trash. It costs more to take it to waste management. Waste management is a big monopoly all over the United States. And when you drop off trash, you've got to pay them.
How much is it? 17? How much would it be? 17 what?
$17.50.
Because a friend of mine, I think she lives in Piney somewhere. She told me there was just like $20-something.
$24
in Johnson City is like 30, 35.
Yeah.
Something like that.
35 in Johnson City, 65 in the city of Bristol, Virginia. They're going to back it off. It's probably going to end up being like 55.
Is it required? Because she said that.
Yeah, you must.
Okay. Because they're not included.
Yeah, in the county you can opt out.
But we can opt out in the city. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's part of the ordinance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. The ordinance states that every resident will, have 2 35-gallon cans with lids.
Okay, so that's in it now, right?
It's in the ordinance.
Okay,
right.
Sure.
And it's an enforceable ordinance.
Well, that's why we got it cheaper in the first place, because we're using our own cans.
Yeah,
Right.
because right
And I'm
now,
all for that.
if
I-
we went to Cox
It'd be even
and we're
more.
like, hey, bring us 704 brown
Yeah.
cans. Wow, that would be high.
High.
That would we
That I
can't afford
understand.
it. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
and that other company
Yeah.
that bid it against Cox,
I looked at that. It's
That was-
$240,000.
Yeah, like it was.
Yeah. It's I've got it in there. It was a quality waste, and we did 3, and it was like 228 and 240. So as y'all can see, the bill, what we think the bill is going to be, is about $143,000 this year. With that, the only way to support that bill is to just go up $2 on the cans. That's minimum. That's cutting again, just like we did in the general fund. I mean, that's like that close.
So our garbage, it will go up $2 for the customer.
Yes,
Per month.
right, per month.
Oh, yeah.
$2, just $2, not 10, not 5. I'm telling you, Sharon and I have. I mean, we've got this thing. We took a X-Acto blade and we went to where we can go with it and pay the bill. That's it. We're just paying the bill.
So trash pickup goes up $2.
It would go to $17.50, prospectively upon your approval. That's what it would go to.
Right.
And that will give us, we don't know, I mean, because of the surcharge. With that round figure for the entire year, that would give us approximately $20,000 to flex. If we had like the junk day, and the junk day is going to cost probably another $5,000 a year. So we just need part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then if 1 month we come in and there's a big, like Christmas time. Christmas time, after Christmas, huge
Yeah,
amount of
right.
trash goes out. And let's just say they surcharge us $2,000 that month, and we'd be covered, is what I'm saying. And we won't go in the red during the year. So,
How often do we do junk day?
one time a year, normally in mid-June. Yeah,
All right, we've already.
we're done. Yeah, we're done.
They got on television.
And you know, I'm hoping, I'm praying. It appeared to be that, well, you know, sometimes they double back on junk day. It was really the 14th and the 15th, but sometimes they'll come back. But officially, it's over.
Okay.
Right, 2 days.
Well, a lot of things they do say they won't pick up. A lot of times it is electrical appliances.
So, now let's get back to water and sewer. We talked about sanitation. In looking at water and sewer, you will see that right down here, I already told y'all, this is what we audited basically almost 2 years ago, if you're predicting. This is what we think the revenue is going to be. Here's the key. Here's the key. Look at how close these two numbers are together. Man, that's
That's
close.
$400. That's pretty
$400, right? So the prospective increase would be 8%.
We just did 8% though.
No, ma'am,
What,
we did a 4%.
Four, but then it 4 water, 4 sewer, something 8.
So everybody thinks that's it.
It makes 8.
I mean, when you go to talk to the citizens, they'll say, no, you don't go up 4, you go up 8.
Yes, you do.
I try to explain to them 4 for what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, if you do the math on the base rate of water, $2.80 increase. If you're base rate water, 2,000 gallons or less, on the base rate, $2.80. Yeah, so it's not that big.
Well, why is the sewer part, why is it almost double what the water,
Because we have to pay Bristol to treat it.
treated? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the
that's
supplies, and all that, all the supplies and all that stuff went up. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's
Oh, I
gone
know.
You
up.
know, all the pipe we used when we repair
Everything's
things.
gone
But the biggest thing is that it was if I remember, I can go in there and pull it, 7.8% increase. Now you got to remember, we pump millions of gallons a year under the lake over Bristol, and that, like I say, I told y'all a while ago, Dave Wilson, who is with Bristol now, and and Will Witcher, who's director of utility services, they come met me yesterday. We had a nice meeting. Well, we actually did a team. So Alan and I were in the office, and they were up there. But we had a great, productive meeting. A lot of exciting ideas we had, but it costs money for them to do that. So that's how come it's higher, because we pay somebody to do it. And if we built our own sewer treatment facility, I don't even know how many millions a year it would
any way we
cost.
could get a grant for that? It should have
or-
never been torn down in the first place.
Geographically and environmentally, that is challenging for us. Back in the old days, there were not so many EPA restrictions.
Well, when
and
they tore it down, the
TDEC
state said all you
didn't
need to
have
do is
all the
update it a little bit. I
requirements.
remember it quite well.
Back in the old days, you could get by with that. Now, no. And we don't want to bear that beast. That is a beast. You've got to staff it. You've got to remain within TDEC requirements, the EPA requirements. There's still additional costs because you treat it. And then there's still solids that you have to haul away to certain landfills, and you don't want that. We don't want that. We'd be better as a town, unless our population doubles, to just send her over to Bristol and let them worry about it.
They're going to take care of it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Well, we're going to be getting some savings pretty soon because this building will soon be paid off, right?
we have what's that song? We got one more payment and it's mine.
All
One more
right.
payment. We have one more payment in this
Moving
budget.
on up.
In this budget. And, we talked about we really want to keep on going on these water and sewer projects, but I think we all agree it's time to set back for a year because we're going to look for grants.
Right.
Don't get the wrong idea.
Right.
But in regard to our debt service, really don't want to go borrow any money.
Breathe a minute, yeah.
And have you saw the interest rates? The average, if y'all look, well, the prime rate's what, 6.25?
It's gone up that much?
7.25.
It's no time to borrow money, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, God.
It's no time to borrow money. Even at our rate, we don't, we might go to prime rate plus 1/16 of a point or something if we borrow money, but we need to pay the debt service now.
Just trying to get out of debt.
We need to pay the debt, and compliment Sharon and Irene, my predecessor. They've whittled this debt down over the years and got rid of little loans. They bought police cars and paid them off early. I mean, they
Come a long
did a
ways.
lot of stuff.
Oh, it's 825.
825, really? Anyway,
Prime rate.
I'll just leave that alone. Not a good time to borrow money, even if
I
you're a
totally
municipality.
agree. I
Right?
totally agree.
So, let me see what else I can answer for you. Just to surmise, the board does have a choice. You can pass whatever you decide what we do. As your budget director, I can only present you with the numbers. But I can tell you, and Ben's already alluded to it, every municipality and every county in Tennessee is in the same economic condition we are. And even with these proposed increases, we are far under our colleagues in cost.
Yeah, a very good friend of mine in the Carolinas that's in government. He was telling me a little bit about that too, how things are. And like I said, I know everything's going up. I told my husband, he said, baby, you know everything's going up. Everything is going up. And when eggs get to almost $8 and
Oh,
18, it's time to
Well,
buy
I mean,
some chickens.
Fuel prices haven't really alleviated. They've dropped to the level.
No, I mean, 50-cent average.
Fuel's still killing us.
Everything's high.
We,
Everything.
and you know, that's something I want to brag on, well, Blue Team while they're over there. And then Alan, if he were here in Public Works, we're doing our best to maximize putting folks, not getting 5 trucks on the scene. And, you know, we patrol a lot of miles, there's nothing to do about that. But if there's any way, there's a corner to be cut here, we cut it with the mind of safety and service. I mean, we're not going to turn down our service just to cut $1. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that we are obliged to serve. The way that we get folks to move here is that we provide the highest level of services. You know what I'm saying? Most folks that want to move here are not getting down and saying, okay, Jonesboro's tax is $1.45 and Bluff City's is $1.30. I'm moving to Bluff City. They don't think that way. They think, what are the services and what are the schools like?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Let me change gears on you real quick. Something really cool came out of my meeting with Bristol yesterday. There was a misconception that we were getting short on sewer taps. That is an absolute misconception. I was told that when I came on board. You know, they're like, hey, and Alan, we both thought it. We were thought, you know, we're going to have this development out on Lakeview,
Yeah.
and then we've got Magnolia Ridge. Anthony's wanting to put in about another 24 units. So we've got different things going on where folks are wanting to build.
Mm-hmm.
And I got worried about it. I was like, holy cow, man, what if we don't have the taps? You know what I'm saying? So I met, among other things, we discussed that yesterday with the city of Bristol. We got all kinds of taps. Because back in the day, we signed on the treatment plant over there we just talked about. Was a Sullivan County, Bristol, Bluff City project. We're all shareholders with that treatment plant. And the county has only used 1/3 of the taps they could use over there. So, in short, we could have 100 houses today, no problem. Bring them on. Bring them on.
Great.
We got taps. Now, something else I got to get into is, and that's a meeting this upcoming week after Juneteenth, is where we at on water tap. But we're okay. I'll tell you that, because we talked about, we studied the water treatment plant. We are very much capable of producing more water at the plant. Right now we're doing about 260,000 gallons a day. As y'all know, you've heard that number a bunch of times. We're running good, 250, 260 is a good day. We're running our, if you understand filtration, we're running our filters at 2 gallons a minute. We are authorized to run the filters at 6.5 gallons a minute. TDEC, when they look at that, and they're saying, they know it's just like your motor. It's just according to how hard you push down on that thing, how fast you got to drive. So when TDEC looks at that, they rate a water treatment plant at 85% of that capability, right? So automatically, if we went and we increased, we turned up the water treatment plant per se, we can make up to 85% of our capability we can push out. So that number would be in the 300,000 range, in the mid 300,000 range that we could do, right? We all know that we're getting ready to go into a water treatment plant renovation, and that we're in planning and design right now to do that. Matter of fact, I was talking to Randy a while ago, and the last piece before he submits, and I'll be bringing this to you, the preliminary engineering report for that job is tying in the electrical contractor. So once he gets that all buttoned up, he'll be coming to me and saying, okay, Jeff, here's what we think we can do, here's when we think we can do it, and I'll bring it to you. So we're going to do work on our tanks and trains during that project, and we're going to replace every valve. We're going to put new process automation, do all the stuff in there, $800,000 worth of work. That, once complete, and we run the water treatment plant off, will be reevaluated for what we can produce. It's predicted we may be able to go to $400,000 a day, right? That means we turn Bristol Bluff off. We don't
We can do our own.
You know what I'm saying? But number two, we're ready for new business. We're ready. Citizens, come on. We're ready to go. So what I'm going to meet with TDEC about this next week is, at our current capability, how many taps do we have left that we can grant citizens? I know we're not down to inches right now. I'm not, it's not like we've got 2 left. And some dude comes up, hey, I want to build a house. Sorry, brother, you can't get a water tap. But I know we're limited at our capability. And I don't mean to drag y'all down in the weeds with this stuff, but anyway, we will be able to make more water. And that will reduce our cost. Also, as I've already talked to you about, since we did phase 3, we're seeing more water in the tank. We're in the 50s, if you understand.
Great, yeah.
The tank's 60 feet
Right.
is the max. We're staying in the 50s. We'll drain 6-7 feet during the day during peak usage, and we'll pick that back up at night. So we're right now, matter of fact, Bristol's off. It's not on. You know what I'm saying? Because Alan would keep it around 25 gallons a minute, which is not a lot of water. If you turn on 25 gallons a minute in your house, it would be a stream about that big. You know what I'm saying? Or something. Now, for us, it's big. It's like an 8-inch valve. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So you just kind of crack it on. Because if you turn that one on, it's 150 PSI, and it's a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? When it's wide open. So we're at a place now where we can, and we haven't been there for a while, where we can we're only going to need to turn Bristol Bluff on when we need to.
So that will be a savings.
That's going to be a hell of a saving.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
But we cannot, that is not a fixed number.
Right, gotcha.
You follow me?
Gotcha. Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Right.
And all we know is what we saw in real money
Right.
and what we were
Right.
paid, this business,
Right.
what we made in water.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So there's some stuff out there that we can do to combat this. But if we're sitting down with our piggy bank and we're counting out money, we know we collected less money last year. And we can only trend that way going into the next year. What we can do about it is, the sky's the limit. But that we can only, you can't, this economy is so crazy, man. We don't know. And again, we all agree, we've always agreed, Carol and I have been agreeing for 4 years. We want to reduce the debt, and we've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we want to make ourselves more efficient. We want to provide better service for our current residents, and we want to attract new residents. And that's what we're going to do. Have you ever heard that expression, the sins of the fathers? We're kind of paying for the sins of the fathers, because what should have happened over the last 10 or 12 years is that we should have just did a little bitty increase, 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%, and we did.
And what is so sad about it, we end up getting the blame for it.
Well,
Yeah, we get the blame for it.
but I mean, in the end, our duty is to provide utilities and services to the citizens of town Bluff City. That's what we are obliged to do by our charter. We have to do that.
And we have to have it on a balanced budget in the state.
And we do, because practically what would happen is if y'all said, nah, we ain't having it, we'll say, okay, board, Roger, and we'll send it on down to the comptroller, and it'll come back like a boomerang.
But first of all, none of this is state mandated, right? And I know, I know everything's going up. I know that.
But
But I'm just asking just that one question. None of this is state
we,
mandated, right?
no.
Okay,
I
that's
cannot
all I
honestly
want.
tell you it is state
Okay,
mandated.
that's all I wanted to know.
But I am going to tell you that
I
if that
understand where
budget,
you're coming
if
from.
it boomerangs right back to us,
Mhm.
and we run it
Oh, I know
in the
what you're saying.
red, then we are subject.
I know what you're saying.
And I'm going to tell you what happens when stuff gets state mandated. What would happen in water and sewer? You've been with it,
They will
Carolyn.
come
You
in.
were around during that time.
Mhm.
They're going to say, "We're taking over your operation. Yeah, you're going to do the work, but you work for us, and we're going to run your finances for you." And guess what? 15% this
Oh,
year,
yeah.
15% next year, 15% the following year. Clack.
Exactly.
And you can't do squat about it, man. And all you can do is stand up there, which you and I did on our first year, I
I
think.
remember we
You
were
ain't, you might as well say yes, because you can't say no. You know what I'm saying?
Been there.
Yeah. So we can be proactive or reactive. That's it.
But I would like to say this. I'd like to thank the mayor. Great job.
Well,
And,
it's
you know,
her.
and I often say, you know,
Sharon does most of this stuff. I mean, honestly, she does.
Mayor, may I speak? I have to say this, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. And we know that Mayor Will should be paid. And I know that you work hard because I've worked with you and I've seen some of the things you've done. And it's hard work. You know, sometimes people think you don't do anything, but you don't know the calls I get, and I get out of my bed and go see about folks. You know, but nevertheless, you know, that's something we need to be thinking about too down the road, because it's hard work. It's hard work. And I know you don't charge anything. You're here to serve the people. But I often say right is right and wrong is wrong. And we have come a long ways.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have gotten some great things done. And we're going to get some even greater things done. We are on the move.
We certainly
So,
are.
Bluff City, we haven't finished yet.
And, you know, I mean, when you start getting visited by networks voluntarily, and they're like, "What's the secret sauce?"
Exactly. You know, and
You're
it's
doing
so
pretty
sad
good.
because sometimes people
You
don't
know
want
what
to
I'm
do
saying?
this because they don't like this or don't like that. But do you like what I stand for? Do you like what I'm
Right.
doing? Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Well, keep in mind too, if we get this budget right on the first try, again, that there's benefits for us having.
There is benefits because
So
a
we
balanced
can
budget
fix
that don't
some of the
bounce
problems we
back,
got.
and that's fair. And you know, we send this down to Jason Mumper's office, to the comptroller, and they're going to say, "Man, they got that within $670. I mean,
Right.
they're that far down in the
I think we'll be
weeds."
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's just good fund management, is what it is. And again, you talk about employee increases. Bristol did 8. Johnson City did 5. The county's going to do 5. City of Jonesboro's doing 8. Now, we do fully provide the benefits, you know what I'm saying, for our employees. 3 is a fair number, since we provide the benefits. But
And what does the city manager get?
0.
He's close.
Well, we don't have one. I'm just acting as the city manager. But anyway, we provide, you know, those benefits for our employees, and I think we all agree we want to continue to do that. We don't want to charge our employees for the benefits. 3% when folks are given 8 I think it's fair. And we want to retain, like for example, these guys sitting right over here. Our police department can walk right this daggone second and go to another department potentially. They'll make more money in there. They won't make the benefits, right? They won't get their car. They won't get the training opportunities. They won't get the promotion opportunities. They have that flexibility. You know what I'm saying? And then our public works. I mean, think about it. We've improved that a lot in the last couple of years because we had public works employees, $11 an hour, could run a backhoe and do all these skilled things. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous to do that. We've been improving that over the years. So We're not throwing money at people, we're just being fair. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's great that I've never heard of any place, business or city, that paid, for their insurance and all that.
I
So
know.
I just
think
paid mine.
they realize
Except the
that-
Army, I mean, I gotta do my Army,
Yeah.
that's it.
But I think they appreciate that, and you have to take that into consideration.
Right.
I would
And
hope they
then
are anyway.
y'all talk about the real, I mean, when they go to Food City, it costs them more. You go buy some hamburger, honey, it's $6.99 a pound if you want to get some.
Isn't that the truth?
You know what I'm saying? So how can we expect them, we gotta help with them. I think 3%, and also, I know we all agree, and if Sandy was here, she would agree, we do it fair. It used to be like, hey, I like you today, you're getting $1.50, I don't like you, you ain't getting squat. We have to have something for them to work on. And I'm going to tell you what, I've got Greg, Shane, Jamie's, the Blue Team's evaluations. I've got them. I got Alan's today. The supervisors went through the evaluations are fair, the comments are good, or needs improvements are clearly stated down there. Hey, pal, you need to do this. And they rated their employees fairly. Not everybody's getting the max, I'm going to tell you that. The supervisors went through, and they were fair. Everybody here is going to get a raise this year. Some of it's about that big, some's going to do pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So we had to put a process in place. We hate good old boy. We all hate good old boy. You know what I'm saying? And this takes away good old boy.
Exactly.
It does.
And I do have to say on a good note, Miss Sharon, I think, office manager over there or something like that,
She's
it's
the
been
department
very pleasant coming in. Everybody's very professional and nice. So, I mean, I see a difference there. I see a big difference.
The girls are really very
They,
good.
Yeah,
They
I see a big
certainly
difference. And we're all still working. We still got kinks to kink out.
what we do,
But we're
but
working.
we'll look at improvement every
Yeah,
single day.
exactly.
We
We're working
will.
progress.
Sometimes we'll fall short, but we'll just
Exactly.
take a lesson.
But we don't get mad and ready to
Yeah.
tear each other down and try to destroy each other.
So
We come together.
that's less than productive.
Exactly.
So, okay, with this now, ladies and gentlemen, this is my presentation to you. This is it. You have it before you. I would ask that you obviously don't share it right now. Still a draft until you approve it. Right? Until you approve this. Not me. I'm your budget director. I just present it to you, and I have a CMFO sitting at my side. So, ma'am, do you have anything to add to my comment?
No, just that, the state that this budget includes the increases.
It does.
Each of us.
It does, yeah. The salary increases are worked into this budget.
That's what it would be if you do that.
Okay.
Right.
But just make sure you get a better ham next year.
Yeah.
A better ham.
We failed
That's
on the
awful. Y'all failed us on that one.
They get that.
We got that honey bag.
Is that what they got?
Yeah. And everybody likes the Food City ham better.
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
The hams are in there. They're in there for that.
I'll take the
Yeah.
better one.
Employees love the hams.
Go back to.
Yeah.
It's funny because I asked them this Christmas, I said, okay, y'all remember, I talked to Carol about it. I was like, we're going to have a big dinner,
Yes.
or you get a ham. They're like, hell that. We want a ham. And we want out at 12. And I was like,
For a long
Uh,
time.
yeah, there you
I
go.
need the
Get you a
ham.
ham. Yeah. So, let's see. Anyway, I'll field any general question. I will answer any line. Sharon, we're sitting here. Any question about any single thing you see there, we're here to answer it.
Just say thank you.
Do you like doing budget workshops better this way?
I'm
Critique me. I mean, is this the way next year you want to do the same thing? You want us to sit down and I throw it up here and like here it is? And Right.
You know, we see it better and understand it.
Right. Man, I tell you, I've learned a lot about this. I understand business accounting because she corrects me all the time. She'll be like, that's not capital, that's an expense. But she knows both, you know what I'm saying, and I don't.
But this is very eye-opening.
Right.
Thank
You
you.
learn a lot.
You
Yeah,
do.
I am. All right, so, Ben?
All right, I was just doing a little math. Like, I think the average square footage of a home in Bluff City was around 1,300
I
square
would
feet.
think that's about right.
With that increase, it's basically $12 a month.
Yeah, right. That's it.
On
In the
property,
escrow.
on the property tax, if we raise it to 1.13.
Yeah, that's pretty much, it was, hold on just a minute. We actually thought about it, Sharon and I, and we actually took her sister's house and did a little figure. And I'll tell you what that was in just a second. So I'm going to get my calculator to work. So we figured.
So what I guess the main things that we're talking about increasing, it's going to be, for an average homeowner, it's going to be $16 more per month for the water, trash, and property tax.
That's just about right, Ben. That's just about right, because that's $255,000 property per month. And then if you do the base rate, which was $2.08, and then you put it on the gallons, and you put it on the sewer, yeah.
So that's $16 with the water and the trash and the property tax. Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. That is
A
correct.
$16 increase per month
$16
on average.
So,
I mean, some people will pay more, some people will pay less.
Yeah, according to your
depending on
usage, but that's
the
about
size of
it.
your home and things. But I mean, like, if you're just looking at a general number, that's for us to balance
That's a good
this
number.
budget.
That's a good number.
$16 a month.
Yeah.
It's really not a huge
That's
burden.
it. And keep in mind that we're still the lowest dog in town.
Yeah.
I mean, the only municipality close to us is Jonesboro at $1.45, and they just passed $1.45. And they were at one. Okay, it's real similar because Jonesboro was at $1.20 property tax rate, and they went a quarter. They went to $1.45 on that. So we would go up a little over 12 cents or so. 12.2, yeah, or so. And then, like I say, the trash cans, man. Like I say, you know, in the county what it is, and I'm not sure. I'm sure Roger Cox is talking to the county. I don't worry about what they do, but they're right now at 24 a month. I don't even know what it'll be. I'm sure he's probably hitting them on surcharges too. So, $17.50 a month to get your trash hauled off is a pretty reasonable deal, and especially when everybody around us is way more, double or triple what we are. And we're cool about it. Here's the good, it's one of the things I like about Bluff City. I mean, I love the code. I love the ordinances. But we try to figure out a way we know the law, but we try to figure out a way to get you where you want to go legally. Right? And if the Rogers guys, if they come upon the house and just, I don't know, you had a big birthday party and there's 2 extra bags, they're going to take it. Nobody's going to say nothing. I'm not going to go out or we're not going to get Josh Carter to run out in his little vehicle and say, I want to write you up for having to. We don't,
Right.
we don't do that.
Harass somebody just because you can.
Yeah.
Is there a
But
limit
if you have
with
15
them
bags.
cops? I mean, like,
Garbage bag.
The ordinance says, the ordinance says 2 35-gallon cans with lids, so 70 gallons.
the only reason I'm asking,
Those
because
trash.
I never knew, well, I don't know. But when it was Bluff City, they did charge you because I was charged. I actually went around the city and picked up trash from all the way down Rose
Yeah.
Strip and Judy charged me extra for every bag, and I haven't asked her.
Well,
So don't say they don't.
yeah, I don't know
Be
about
careful with that, but I'm
but
just saying, they do, some of them do, and I said, I asked, do you want me to leave it there or bring it to my house and have it picked up? I brought it to my house, I had 15 bags, she charged me $5 a bag.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how that works, but right now we're
She says you're only allowed one can.
yeah, we're in contract.
That's why I'm
so,
asking now, before
you know,
it
I mean,
changes,
that's
are
what
we
it
allowed
is.
one can, 2 cans?
And when we start getting invoiced after July the 1st, it's going to be $15.50 times 704.
For 2 cans.
Yeah, like I said.
Well,
like,
my neighbors, one reason I'm asking for
they
them,
don't care. It's
they're both
two 35
been taken
gallon,
care of.
70
They're
gallon
both
trash.
bedridden. So they got
Right.
2 full cans.
Or you can be like
Which I don't
myself, and I think Carol may have one too. I've got one of them rolling cans
That is-
that I bought out of my pocket. It's about $300, and it carry and it's got 70 gallon. And you can put 70 gallon of trash in. It's within. I didn't buy the 90 just because I could have, but I didn't because I knew the ordinance said 70 gallons. So I can fill that scooter up, even the lid may tip a little bit like that. I'm within the ordinance. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, Cox, we've been with them 26 years.
They've been great. I don't have a
And
problem.
it's competitive. And we've shot before unsuccessfully. So, guys, we're doing the very best we can. We really are. Sharon will tell you. I mean,
I can tell, and I'm pleased. I'm thankful. You know, like I said, we may not always agree, but we can agree to disagree. Not
Yeah.
get mad.
so
It's hard to do.
it's hard.
It's hard.
When
You're shooting at a moving target. I mean, you don't know.
what their
Just try your
economy's gonna
best.
do.
It's
They
rough.
don't know what's gonna do.
So,
It's rough.
with any further discussion desired,
I'm just curious about, when they came, with the audit and told us everything, and they said all that money was left over. Was it or wasn't it, and where is it? And
what money would you
He
like to
said,
know?
he said about that we could pay for the city manager, which you are, and you're doing a good job, don't get me wrong.
I appreciate that.
I'm just saying that he said there was money. Was there really money there, or did he mislead us?
If
or-
he's not telling the truth, then we need to bring him back to the table.
That's what I'm saying.
He needs to be held
That's-
accountable.
He
Because
did.
people asking me
Okay,
that. I don't know
allow
what
me. He did not intentionally deceive you. I'll say that. He had not looked at our budget. He made arbitrary statements.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a CMFO or a CPA.
You mean he came to a meeting and spoke for us and not even really realize what he was saying?
Not really.
Well,
He could.
he was looking at the reserve money. That's
Right,
built
for
up.
reserve.
I know he was in, that money
Because I'm
was
just
in
trying
that
to figure out how I'm
savings
supposed to
account.
explain this to
She-
you.
he- He was
I don't know
saying,
what it
you have enough in the savings account.
Right.
He's talking about the general funds and all that.
Okay,
Because
but
you can
every
always do
year,
that.
if you use
So much.
$100,000 for a
Whoever,
city manager, and you take it every year out of your savings, not out of the revenue you got for that year, well, what's going to happen to your savings?
But we're going to be putting money back.
Well, here's how we
Not if you
accumulate.
don't
Well,
increase
I
your
don't want to
revenue.
get off track.
I mean,
I don't want to get off track.
We gotta go to a bank that we can use for water projects
Yeah,
or
emergencies.
whatever. we wanna
Emergencies
do.
is the
I just tell
That
people,
money
I
was
say, I don't-
earned with those traffic cams, and we don't have.
I know, that
we
made a
were
big
pulling in a
difference.
lot of money with the traffic
Made a
cams.
big
We're not pulling that.
Right. But I think the
I don't
mayor's
want to
gonna-
bring it back either. I mean, that's a tax on
It's
citizens.
unconstitutional.
Yeah, not to mention that.
That's what you get in red is 1 year. The money that you come in 1 year and the expenses for 1 year. That's what they're looking at on the budget. Not
Year
what
over
you
year.
got in your savings.
Right, right. But I think he had made some kind of statement about moving money. You could do that at general funds. I mean,
I don't
I have a
understand
problem
that.
if he came and sat here and said something that wasn't true.
Well, but you can't
And-
use money out of the general fund to give it to the water sewer. You
No,
cannot do that.
can't do it, it's law.
Mm.
No,
See, that's where a lot of confusion comes to
no,
us.
you definitely can't.
You know.
Well, think about it, yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, it's illegal,
Mhm.
number one.
That's why they made, when I first started here, there was like, I'm trying to think now, $100,000 that general fund, I mean, the water sewer of the general fund, they made us pay it back.
Oh.
For 3, well, you weren't,
No, we-
you weren't here.
We weren't here yet, yeah.
They did 3,
Installments,
3 years.
yeah.
I know
Well,
you had.
9 years because they let us go 3, 3, 3.
Yeah. I know
Instead
you
of
guys
doing
had
it
quite a bit of
all.
work to do. I know
And
that.
it was like a loan.
Yeah, I remember.
We had
that.
to pay it back to the general fund because Judy.
But we are good now, right?
We're great,
Okay.
we're great.
Yeah, good now.
Yeah, we're great, just unfortunately, it's more expensive to do
How,
this.
You
That's
said
it.
we only have a year left to pay on the building
Yeah.
This next year.
this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
$66,000.
We'll have a big
Then
celebration.
we'll have a
Well, see,
little-
that's $66,000 a year after this year.
We'll get it
Right.
back.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you'll be able to use for something
For something else. So
Right.
maybe we can get a decrease in here somewhere along the line or something.
Well, that's what we're shooting for, but it's a marathon.
I know it
not a
takes- we have
sprint.
to cut
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
And
we
that's
can always
just-
adjust things on the fly.
Exactly.
We
Do an
can
amendment.
always amend.
Always.
I would
But-
like to, if that works as it plans, instead of next year or the year after, I mean, whenever it's all paid off, I would like to try to give the employees a little more than 3% raise.
Well, I'd
Because
like to try to give the
everything else-
citizens a little something.
It's going
Maybe a
up,
bigger
like you
hand.
say, you know.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if we have the extra amount, I'm not saying go
yeah,
for it.
right. Well, the beauty of this thing is that, we had to put a process in place that is
understand.
uniform,
Right.
and our employees have to perform. They have to
Oh,
perform.
I know, I'm not saying
We,
everybody.
we
like you
can't just say
this
everybody's
person
getting
makes-
$1 and then you can just lay down
Oh, yeah.
for a year. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the way it should be.
It's almost like government work. We don't
Yeah.
want that. We're government, but there has to be
Well,
an
they have to show the
expectation.
job.
And if they don't meet the expectation, they need to be replaced.
There
You know what I'm saying?
That's what, I didn't mean.
We don't have anybody
everybody.
in
I
that
just
category.
meant in
Favoritism.
general, you know.
Because y'all know I would act on it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just saying in general.
But I
Of course, go
agree
down,
with
the
you
lowest
to
person
the
on the
extent.
totem is going to get less.
Right. And that's something we'll look at year over year. Right now, what we're proposing is that in this year, and I had the evaluation from the supervisor, that the best performing employees will get a 3% raise. Those less will get 2, 1, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Who knows? We may have a boom year next year, and we can say it's 5, 3, and 2. I don't know. We just every year we'll decide that. We will decide that. I don't decide
I'm
that.
just,
You
you know,
do.
bringing it up.
Right. But yeah, absolutely. We want to keep up with the economy. And I'll tell you something else that when I talked to Will and Dave Wilson, and I talked to Malin and a lot of Bristol folks, man, you talk about being a few years ago, they were the lowest paying bunch in the country, man. They were paying public works folks $10 an hour, and this and that, and their board has worked over the past few years to get folks up kind of where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't expect in this economy when you can roll into Chick-fil-A for $16 an hour and you're 16 years old,
No.
Yeah.
and then you want me to go get shot at, or you want me to go out here at 1 o'clock in the morning and run your backhoe
Right.
and dig up a water line, man, that's crazy. You know
Well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
what I said
Yeah.
a few years ago when they were talking
Yeah.
about it, and you're here, I'm sure, and I had a fit when Hugh, which not here no longer,
Yeah, he came in the other.
was making quite a bit more than the chief. And I said, this man over here can get shot as soon as he walks out
Yeah.
the door. And he's barely making $10, and this one's sitting here is making $25. There's something wrong here. Dad.
We got that about.
There's something wrong here. I about have a fit.
And I'm going to tell you something else. And I know Shane will attest to this because he's very intimate with this. A couple of a county in particular, I'm just going to leave it there, took the ARPA money, and you know you could give your employees performance bonuses, right? And they took their ARPA money and they threw big ass raises, pardon my French, on their employees. And everybody in the country, hey, come over here, you make $20-some an hour, and this and that and the other. Guess what? That money's gone. Now they can't sustain it. You don't do that.
You don't do that just because
It's like
you
living on
don't
overtime.
spend it.
You can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So BCPD, Blue Team, we're at a steady wage. We pay for your benefits. We offer you training. You can be on the SRT. You can become a detective. You can get promoted to sergeant. You can do a lot of different things. We'll send you to K9. You know, this and that and the other.
Yeah.
Man, it's great. And these officers, Shane will tell you, he's been in this business many years. They're hungry. They want more. They want to go be SRT guy. They want to go TBI school. They want to go to Tigers. They want to go to Taser training. They want to become a driving school instructor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to give them something.
Yes, make it enticing and inviting.
And even and that in itself, say the money's adequate, but just that opportunity to improve that we pay for,
The
it
experience.
keeps them here. And then we treat folks
Treat 'em right.
Treat them.
We treat them right.
Treat 'em
And we
right.
treat them
Yeah.
fair. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it boils down to.
So,
You treat your employees right, they'll work for a little less.
yes, ma'am.
I know I would.
So, that all being said, we've been here for a little over an hour and a half, and I do appreciate you on a Friday evening. Are we ready to go to the first reading on this budget?
I am.
I'm comfortable with what we discussed.
Time, I'm not pressuring you,
Oh,
but
I know.
time, there's 10 days in between readings on this. So if we are comfortable to go to first reading, what do you think? How fast can we put the ordinance together? Tuesday? You think we can get it together that quick? Thursday?
That new ordinance.
That big? And you should see the budget appropriation ordinance, the new one that came. It's like, how many pages is it?
3.
We have to completely outline. You know, usually it's like, we're levying a tax rate, and it's like that long.
Right.
That thing's like huge.
Oh, gee.
The-
So it'll
the-
take you a little while to get that together, right? Good. It'll give me time to.
Right. So when do you expect to kind of be back in town?
My babies were upset because Mimi's supposed to be there 6 o'clock today.
Oh, I'm
But,
so sorry.
That's okay, but anyway.
Next week, when can y'all do this thing?
Any day's good for me.
Next week.
Not me.
I don't work, so any day's good for me.
When do you think you'd have it? Take your time, baby. Take your time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, she's the one we need to have.
hopefully by Wednesday. Hopefully.
Okay, so
And I started to see how much. I mean, you have to take this right here and squeeze it down.
and put it in an ordinance.
Well, okay. Then you just send me a text and let me know.
So, yeah, but I could give you 48 hours notice
All right.
and all that kind of stuff. So, what about Friday?
Just read the
Okay,
ordinance.
that-
man.
that
That's
would-
just-
that would
that's
be-
just a little
It
bit.
ain't hard. Okay, so
Yeah.
how, do y'all want to do it
I should be.
earlier, like we did this, or do you want to come at 6? Tell me what
Good
is a
for you
good time
guys. Be fine with me.
on Friday.
On Fridays, it's,
If so, we're going to shoot for publishing. We're going to shoot for first reading, and we've got another point of business that we need to add to that.
Yeah, we've got some other things, yeah.
if you're comfortable, would you like for it to be 6 o'clock next Friday? Would you like for it to be 5 o'clock next Friday, 4 o'clock next Friday, 7 o'clock? I don't care. You tell me the time.
4 o'clock. Earlier is better.
4 o'clock.
Okay, Carol, what do you think?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to
What's
publish
that
it.
date?
Huh?
What's that date?
It'll
Next
be
Friday.
23rd.
Yeah, 23rd. I'm going to publish an agenda then that will be, Sharon and I are going to prepare an agenda and for the first reading on the budget next Friday at 4 p.m. And like I say, we've got some other housekeeping to do on the RD.
TCRS.
Yeah, we've got to vote on the retirement for the employees again, like we always do. It's the same thing all the time. Remember, we have the option to decide how many percent we contribute. And then we've got a couple of matters cleaning up RD Phase 3 in regard to the grant money. We've got all the grant money that we're going to get from USDA Rural Development. We got $22,000 and some. So all the grants here. We've got the bills, right? So we need to settle out and figure out how much we owe in the overage. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It appears, good news, sleeper, good news, it ain't going to be as bad as we thought it was going to be. It appears. And that will come out of our water and sewer reserve. Not. So I think we're going to be a lot better off than we were. We're not going to dig so far into the reserve as we thought we might. So we'll have to do that for a business. And, but those are quickies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if y'all are cool with it, that's what I'll do. About Tuesday, your agenda will fly to you.
Okay, and I have a question about the paving on Chris. When do you think we're going to get that?
Hillcrest?
Hillcrest.
We're working on a couple of things. As a matter of fact, we had a good, I'll just share with you something exciting. I was going to wait till my town manager comments, but something exciting came from our meeting with Bristol yesterday. They have asked if we're interested. They do a payment contract to buy pavement every single year as a single entity. They asked if I'd be interested in joining them and combining with them to be able to push their payment costs down. Because if we're included, they'll get a better price.
Yeah.
And we're going to start working together on some things. But now, Hillcrest, I'm working on a TDOT grant.
Okay, because that's supposed to be one of the first ones we do.
Yeah, we're kind of I'll give you the top four. Hillcrest is one of them. Lakeview Drive is bad shape. Bad shape. That there's got to be that may be number one. That road's terrible. Park Swirly from Vickers all the way down Park Swirly to Main Street, bad shape. Carter, bad shape. And then, of course, Hillcrest. They're all right up in there. We'd have to kind of rate them. But those are about top 4 or 5 we've got to get on pretty quick.
Okay, you think we'll get them this summer?
Well, where we're going to get the money.
What happened to the COVID money? I thought that was for infrastructure.
It's gone. We used it. All the ARPA money is gone. Remember,
I thought it was for great.
No, the ARPA money's gone.
Yeah. Bonuses, nice bonuses.
Well, that got $100,000. You see, the total ARPA, y'all remember now, the total ARPA was about $500,000. Yeah, that's $10,000.
That's just $10,000.
Bonuses.
I thought that's what it was.
City Hall upgrades, the new computers and the new software. Anyway, it's gone. We spent it, right? And we approved it. We approved the spend.
But I thought the payment was included for the roads.
No.
I thought Hillcrest, that area was paid for, or supposed to have been done a long time ago, with a different under some contract or something.
That's when they were doing they was going to do a resurface back in the old days when they did the sewer out through there, remember? And a lot of that didn't come to fruition.
Oh, okay.
But where we are right now is I am seeking opportunities to pay. And I'm hoping, and doing so without us borrowing any money to do it. Right. And I've had conversations with TDOT. We've got some TDEC stuff we're working on the grant side, tourism stuff. I mean, I've got all kinds of things we're working, trying to find some things. And if there's any way that we can cooperate and have some things done with the city of Bristol or anything else, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm looking for it. But we need the grant money. We need grant money. And we also need grants that require a very low match. There's grants out there we can get that are 50-50. Well, that means if it costs, I don't know, $300,000 to pave Hillcrest, and we got to cough up $150,000, no, we can't do that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 10% we can handle, you know, or whatever. So don't worry. I mean, you can come in my office one day and sit down, and I'll show you every grant I'm working on trying to get it. And if there's a meeting, I went, what day was that, Sharon? Wednesday? I went to the TDOT grant brief in Johnson City. It was 2.5 hours long. So I met the peeps and shook their hand and said, hey, keep Bluff City in your thoughts. Let me have your card. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I mean, as far you see where we're at, how skinny it is, paving is super expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, it's not tearing it up and putting down the asphalt. It's the environmental studies, the engineering fees. Because if you want to pave a road, you've got to do the environmental study, the engineering assessment, the PER, before you even tear a road up. You know what I'm saying? So, a paving job, 50% of the money on a paving job is engineering and environmental fees. The other 50% is actually putting asphalt, tearing it up, putting it down. It's expensive.
It's nothing our guys can do, is it?
No, man. We do not have the equipment, and we don't have the training. We don't know how to do it.
Right.
I mean, we can go take BC7 down Summers Taylor, get some asphalt,
Yeah.
go out here with the shovel and tamp it down. We don't know how to pay.
It don't work.
And we don't have the. And lawfully, we can't work with the county. We can't get Scotty Murray's guys, which can pave, because lawfully as an entity, they can't come and pave our roads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't pave theirs.
Right.
So the only way that we can do, the best way that we could do this is to land the nice TDOT grant, and they come in to do everything for us, kind of like multimodal.
Yeah.
You know, multimodal's going on right now. We landed that grant, $787,000. The sidewalk grant.
Yeah.
TDOT's doing all the engineering. They're doing everything. All we do is pay 5%. Man, if we could land a big juicy one like that, it would be good. You know what I'm saying? And we can manage our money to the fact that we increase our revenue to where, you know, we can go out and do paving jobs. And any coast we don't want to, we've got, 34.7 miles of roads that we maintain, and then the rest of them are on the state. You know, 11 and 19 are state maintained.
Right.
So we don't, by the way, FYI, the main, since RD3 is over now, there's going to be some resurfacing down Main, kind of slick it off a little bit pretty soon. That's going to be the last piece of that project. So that will smooth out the bumps. And what?
As a nasty one right on the corner of Old City Hall, I hit every time.
Yeah, I do too in my truck, and I hit that headliner. The cool thing is, and this is informal. We've had real good luck in the past with the contractor. And a lot of times they'll over order. Now, this is no promise, but sometimes they'll give Alan and the guys a little cut, and we could go out and fix something.
Yeah.
And we did that
Yeah.
during RD Phase
Yeah.
3. And another thing is RD Phase 3, y'all, we got a little bonus water line out of it too down Carter Street.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I went in that hole. I was there, y'all. That 1.25 line, you hit it like that, and it just turned into rust. I did it, Alan and I, in the hole. And that water line, you could put your heel on it. It'd go all pieces.
I remember that night we was down there when somebody's water froze up. Those old lines. We stood out there for the
It
longest.
was awful.
They were
Oh, it's
awful.
cold, too.
It was really
Man, it's
cold.
cold. My feet was froze.
I don't know how long we stood out there in the cold.
We cut the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if y'all don't have anything else, and we are all in agreement, then I will publish an agenda. Sharon and I will publish an agenda to meet this upcoming Friday at 4 p.m. for the first reading of the budget. And we also, as I alluded to, we have to, you will have to consider and approve the final overpayment for RD Phase 3, and then we've got the insurance, the TCRS we got to do, and vote on, and then we'll move from there.
Good.
Well, thank y'all so much for being here on a Friday.
Thank you.
We tried. Good job. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
Good job, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'll be chatting with you soon.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
How much do you know about roads?
I know quite a bit about that.